Okay. So guys, this is the last of trig that's related to algebra. After this, we go to the graphs of sine and cosine wave, which have a lot of real life applications, which would be great to do a Math IAM. But we'll talk more next time. So enjoy this while it lasts. Okay, so today we're just gonna be solving trig equations. There's a couple of identities that are in the formula book. They're called double angle identities that you'll have to use in some of the problems in order to solve these trig equations. Okay? They are in your formula book.
But are we going to learn?
So, these are the formulas. This is called the double angle formula for sine, and that is called the double angle formula for cosine. If you notice, the double angle formula for cosine has 3 equations, which can be a little tricky because for some problems you will have to decide which one is better. It's not like if you use one over the other, like you get the problem wrong. It's just that if you choose wisely, it works out much quicker.
So it's kind of like you could use a cosine rule for everything, but there's a better way to do it, depending on
Sure. So, yes. First, I'm gonna prove these a little bit to you, and then we'll just jump in and do some problems so that you see how to use these. Okay? So, here we go. Today's notes are short, right? It's just like 8 slides, maybe. So, hopefully, it won't take us the whole period. Where should we start? Okay, well, whatever. Here you have the double angle formula of sine. Oh, do you have your calculators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
These need to
How
be in
many of
radians.
How many of you think that this is the same as this?
No.
No, because the angle is double. And
Because some of you do that.
No.
You just do sine of the angle and then double it. Oh my god. Can you do me a favor? Can you type this in Y1 and can you type this graph in Y2 and hit okay, I have to show you. Okay.
how? Where's theta?
X. It's just a variable.
¿Cómo se hacía para grafiar?
Graph.
Okay, so in Y equals type sine of 2x, close, and in Y2 type 2 sine x.
But it's the same.
Oh, my children, just wait. Look, whenever you graph a trig function, you want to go to zoom and set your window to 7 trig. 7.
Ow.
So
There's a window for trig. I'm so happy. It's a sign.
Oh, that's a sign of
Wave.
you can have your valid.
C.
Looks like superposition.
What?
It's so pretty.
no way.
Alright, so pretty. So the blue one is the blue one is the sine of 2x.
The blue one is the little one.
The blue one was the first one, the sine of 2x, and the red one is
Porque a ti te
the
sale, a mí no.
second one.
Porque tienes que go.
Zoom to
Tú no
sine.
escuchas, Liam, cuando ella habla. Tipo, me
Okay.
preocupas.
Are they the same graph?
No.
Yes.
So, algebraically, they're not the same either. Graphically and algebraically, they are not the same. Can you please not confuse that concept?
So the second one, you're multiplying the sign of something, and in the first one, you're multiplying the angle before doing its sign.
Yes. And we'll get more into the sine wave next week, but anyways, I just wanted you to see that they are not equal, okay? So look what it is equal to. Look what it is equal to. Sine of 2 theta is not, it's not 2 sine theta. It's 2 sine theta
Cos.
times cosine. Yes. Okay. Anyway, so just have it here in front of you, or have it in your formula book, open to your formula book. But there it is. Okay, you'll use it a little later. All right.
Oh, we're not gonna prove that one yet.
No, we're not proving that one. We're gonna prove these.
They're not the same? I know.
Yes, they're all the same. But I'm going to prove to you that they're all the same. Okay, so look at the double angle formula for cosine. You have 3 of these. I'm going to prove to you. Let's start with this basic one. So you have the double angle of cosine. It states that it's equal to this. Please do not mistake that with the Pythagorean identity. You know, like sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. Yeah, it's a minus sign. It's not a plus sign. Anyways, so we're just gonna like accept this as truth right now. I'm not gonna prove that to you, but I'll prove to you quickly how it's equivalent to the other 2. Okay, so here, let's make a little cloud on the side. You do know the Pythagorean identity, this one, right? You should also be able to recognize that if you manipulate this equation, for example, if I solve for sine squared, who is that equal to?
1 minus cosine.
Good. Let's write it there just to have it in front of us. And if I manipulate this main equation, the first one, right? This one. If I manipulate that equation and solve for cosine squared, who is cosine squared equal to?
1 minus sine.
Very good. Leave it right there. Okay, so now let's come back. So in place of cosine squared, to prove the first one, in place of cosine squared, who can I replace?
1
Cosine squared with?
y minus cosine.
So in place of that, I could put 1 minus sine squared. Do you understand? And then what do you have here? Minus 2 sine squared. 1 minus 2 sine squared. And check, check. Do you see it? So I just proved to you that it's equivalent. Fine. Let's do it again. Starting again from scratch. The fact that cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta is the double angle formula for cosine. Now instead of replacing the cosine squared, I'm going to replace the sine squared. Who do I replace sine squared for?
1 minus cosine.
1
Yes.
cosine.
So right here, I'm going to replace this for 1 minus cosine squared. Everybody understand what's happening here?
Yeah.
And then you distribute the negative. And what do you get?
Cosine squared
Negative and negative is going to make a positive.
minus 1
So you
plus
have two positive cosine squares and a negative 1. Check,
No, the one is just.
check.
And we just assume the other one is true.
Yeah, we needed a basis to start from. So I'm not proving that one. Okay, guys, so they are all equivalent. They will all get you to the right answer eventually. There's just some that work out a little faster than others, that's all. Okay, ready to jump in and just try some?
Those are the only 2 identities.
That's it. And the Pythagorean identity
Pythagorean identities and double angle identity.
for SL. There's more, but you.
I win. I don't.
Can't we go? Can we? So. Okay. So. Find the exact values of whatever. Okay. Alright, guys. Let's do them all. A.
It's only in the first quadrant then.
Okay, so if you're given sine, and why is this important?
Because we need a domain.
Yes, they're telling you it's in quadrant 1. So when you draw your picture, put Q1 for quadrant 1. That's important because it's telling you what quadrant to draw the little triangle in. So you're gonna draw a little right triangle. They're calling the angle not theta but x. Anyways, they're interchangeable. That's just theta. And then where do you put the 3 and the 4 on the triangle?
Opposite
over
over
hypotenuse.
adjacent. Over.
So opposite over hypotenuse. And what's the missing side? And don't you say 5? Don't you say 5? I know the 3, 4, 5 is like famous,
Hmm.
but the 5 can't be
Less than more
like
than
the hypotenuse has to be the longer side, right?
Square root of 3.
So you have to figure it out. You have to do
Square root of 3.
Pythagorean theorem. Yeah.
16 menos 9.
Work it out slower if you need to, but 16 minus 9 is?
No, square root of 7.
So you do Pythagorean theorem, whatever you get square root of 7 at the end. Okay, now can you find part A, cosine of x?
Yes.
What is it?
So it's square root of 3 over 4. Square root of 7 over
So
4.
cosine x is adjacent over hypotenuse or square root of 7 over 4. Ta-da! Done. B. Moving on.
Yes, but wait, we're not using anything here.
We're just drawing a picture.
We could go.
Okay, part B. Now they want sine of 2x. Now you just learned the double angle formula for sine. What was it? Flip back a page or look right there.
Sine 2 angle equals.
Sine 2 theta. Sine squared.
I was saying
2 sine
times cos
yeah,
times cos.
sine x cosine x. Yeah? It's in the formula book there. Anyways, so to get sine of 2x, you just do 2 times sine x times cosine x. Do you know sine x? Yes. Look, it's right there.
Wait, sine x.
Sine x is?
Hey.
3 over 4.
Yeah.
So this is
And
equals-
cosine x, look, we just found it.
There's no.
Square root of 7 over 4. And just because some of you get confused still with this, please put the 2 over the 1 so you know you're just multiplying the top by the 2 and not both.
3 por 6. No,
Yes.
¿qué
So you-
6?
6 square root of 7 over 16. I guess you could reduce by 2.
Yeah.
And there you go.
And it's that, even though it's weird and ugly.
Don't mind the super loud PYP kids, even though they wrote us a letter about being
Yeah,
loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't mind
They
them.
always do.
There's my brother.
Okay. Question?
Yeah, the worst thing is the little like stairs. They complain that we like the stairs, but they take up the whole place. How are we supposed to go up? Like, and then I get in trouble for being
No,
late.
and we're not.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dada, you get like 20 minutes late.
Okay, ready? C. So now they want the double angle of cosine. So how many equations did we have for the double angle
3.
formula of cosine? 3. Is there any one that you think is gonna be easier than the other, or are they all more or less just the same in this case?
Like 2 cosine squared minus 1.
Like this one only has sine. This one only has cosine, which we calculated.
So yeah, I say
And this one has cosine and sine.
the first one because if we got it wrong, it's better.
Yeah,
to make
I would go with the first one, even though technically you could use any of the 3, right? But like, just in case our calculations for cosine x was wrong,
A, B.
we don't want to compound the problem.
Sí. Después la
What was it? 1 minus 2 sine squared? So 1 minus 2, 3, 4 squared.
Wait. Equals 1 minus
3/4 squared is 9 over 16.
1 menos 2. ¿Cuánto es sine
Yeah.
squared?
2 is like over 1, please. I'm gonna go ahead and write 1 already as 16 over 16
Espérate.
minus 18 over 16.
Me.
Wait a
Gotta
second.
keep up, gotta keep up. Negative 1,
Menos
8, right? Right. I'll pause.
Outstanding. Oh my god, every time I look up, there's another.
So just like go through the process, right? You substitute sine for 3 over 4, square it, multiply it.
I did the same exact thing, but like the thing is
You write the
did it so
1 as
fast.
16 over 16 to get a common denominator. Any questions?
Hey Dan.
Your
Ah!
brother's in love.
Yeah.
No, there's like, and then
¿Qué dijo? ¿Qué dijo?
Your brother's there. Yeah, you get my brother is in MYP.
Okay, let's go to D.
D. Okay, I'm gonna just replace it here. Okay, guys. Do you have a double angle formula for tan?
No.
Did I ever give you one?
No.
So what are you gonna do?
One
Y
over the
over
other
X.
one. One over the other one.
What's tan?
It's sine
Y
over
over
X.
X.
Y over X. Sine over cosine.
Sine over cosine. So,
That's right.
but you have to use the same like argument, like the same angle. So it's sine 2x
Oh.
over cosine 2x. That's tan of 2x. So, do we already have the answers of sine
Yes.
2x and cosine 2x from part B and part C? So you just like use them.
Plug in.
So sine of 2x was 3 square root of 7 over 8. And cosine 2x was negative 1/8. Oh, look, our little
A
shortcut. Look,
yeah.
bam, bam. And so it's just
Negative 3 square root of 7.
ta-da.
Wait.
Negative 3 square root of 3. Square root of 7. Mija, que soy daltónica.
Tónica es with color.
What do you think?
Nada que
Not so bad? Is it so bad?
No, but I have a question.
Step this level.
I have a question. So, like, we're only gonna use this when they ask us, like, for cos
Double angle.
double, like, when they ask
What is
us
a double angle?
find for cos
When
2x.
the angle is being doubled. 2x.
But why would it be double?
I don't know.
But that's what I mean, like,
Pero es que eso me...
No, I know, but it goes back to the sine wave.
so, like, when
It's just the frequency is yes. The wave is more compressed. You've been doing waves in physics or no? Yeah.
Yes, but that's why I told you that when I see like pi over 4 in the physics test,
Yes. It
I'm
will
like,
all make sense.
why is there a pi over
It will all
4?
make sense.
okay,
Physics next week.
okay, I have a question. So, like, we're only gonna do this with problems like this, like, look for cos 2x.
Just wait. We have more examples.
Okay.
Ay, mi cerebro, no puedo más.
Are we okay? Everyone?
Diego, ¿cuánto has volver en
Alright,
task?
let's keep going. Ready? I think you should try this by yourself. I think you've seen me do. One is enough.
Te juro que voy a llorar.
I will just start you off with this because I know you guys run right over it and like you don't even look at it. Can you please tell me what quadrant it's telling you to draw it in?
From 4.
Good. Can you please start by drawing your triangle in quadrant 4? And I will leave you be. I'll give you like 3 minutes to do this on your own.
Ay, ay, ay.
And cosine of theta will be in respect to x-axis.
Hey.
Yes, it has theta has
¿Qué era
to be the
sine?
reference angle with respect to the x-axis.
Mírame, ¿qué era sine? Mira, ¿qué era sine?
Guys, I am the triangle Nazi, and I'm gonna come around, and if your triangle is not right,
I'm gonna twist
your
it.
triangle is not right, you have to know what a reference angle is. Good. No.
What? I haven't finished.
No. Good. Good.
Ah, ya la vida.
¿Y qué era cos?
Está mal.
So K, H, adjacent
Big
and
Sir, ya está mal.
Fourth quadrant. Fourth quadrant. Good.
Okay.
Good. No.
Yo
Yeah. With theta, we're doing.
estoy poniendo esto así.
Pero no es ahí, es acá. Tipo acá.
Ah, es lo mismo.
Sí, pero no ahí.
Is the
Why is it-
adjacent in front of my angle? Or... No, it's
Theta
the
is the
opposite.
reference angle.
Yeah, but...
It's the angle between the radius and the x-axis.
this was 3.
So guys, if you still don't know what a reference angle is, you're in trouble. Reference angle is the acute angle between the radius and the x-axis. So if it's in the fourth quadrant, the reference angle is this one here, meaning your triangle is here, not
there.
No, mi González.
Some of you are drawing it here.
Mi González.
This,
No.
this is not a reference angle. That's made with the y-axis.
Bro, se me va a caer el hombro.
So please take it from there. And mind your directions. If you're going down, that's negative.
¿Qué?
If you go down, that's a negative direction.
Y, Miss González, yesterday I was with Yamilet, and she was with Oscar.
¿Qué?
And then she was saying like a squared plus b squared equals c squared, you know? And then she started saying that, but a squared is a specific value of a triangle. It can't be like the hypotenuse, and it has to be the.
A and B are the legs. C is always the hypotenuse.
Uh-huh.
Which leg A and B is, it doesn't matter. Because you're going to add a
But
leg.
C is always the hypotenuse.
C is always the hypotenuse. A and B can be any of the other two sides.
No, está diciendo que
Ella está diciendo algo raro del triángulo que yo todavía no sé qué era, solo...
is that she exploded my
Just
brain.
know C is the hypotenuse. That's all you need.
Okay, C is the hypotenuse.
So guys, did
Is
you
it
draw your
three?
triangle now correctly?
Yes, is it
Can you tell me what the missing side is?
real?
Three.
No, guys, it's
Square.
down.
Negative 3.
Thank you. It makes a difference.
Qué mentira.
Qué verdad.
Hice todo mal.
No, literal, yo también. O sea, aquí
My
está
life was built.
De
The
verdad.
whole point of drawing
Sí,
it
porque ahí te
in the
ponen
fourth
five,
quadrant is
ten,
for you to see that you went down.
Sí, pero if you do, okay,
Is the
but
answer
okay, I'm gonna like keep
Yeah,
it.
for A,
Eight.
yes, negative 3/5.
But like, I did the Pythagorean theorem, and it should have given me negative 3. Miss González.
No, it's gonna give you positive 3. You have to draw the triangle in the fourth quadrant.
Ah, no,
to
porque
see that it went down.
Pythagorean theorem va a terminar con square root, o sea que va a ser positive and negative and I have to choose.
Y también
Oh,
que
yeah,
you know,
that's
but you know that sign is negative. So,
In the
like,
fourth
What?
quadrant.
because why?
But first, you have to realize you're in the fourth quadrant. And a lot of people run right over that.
Entonces, no puedo usar ese problema.
Okay, part B. Are we on part B now? Are we finished?
What?
Wait,
¿Qué está pasando?
Is it 1?
No.
Me dio 25.
So then, of
A
the
squared plus b
three,
squared equals c squared.
of the three double angle formulas for
Me está pasando
cosine,
negativo. ¿No?
which
Y
is
C
like the
squared es el
better
hypotenuse.
one to use,
Así que tienes que
Cosine
rearrange
square
para
minus
encontrar
sin.
the one that only has cosine squared, in case your sign was wrong.
Oh, I did
I used the first
cosine squared minus.
If you use the first one, it's fine,
Ah, ya vi. que
assuming
estúpida.
your part A was right. It's a little safer to use the one that didn't depend on your previous answer, just in case. So I would use.
Porque me dio 16 más 9 menos 9. Ya. Everything is fine, guys.
That's it, right? That was it.
Yes.
Estaba 25, digo. Aunque no lo quieras ver.
No sé contar. Ahorita tuve que hacer 5 más 2.
7 sobre 25, ¿no?
Ah, tiene.
Tuve que hacer 7 más 2 para saber qué.
Diego, you know what? Sometimes I pray and I say thanks God he's not.
Thanks God.
Thanks God. Que no se me toma atención.
English libro.
Vas a sacar 7 aquí y vas a no raspar en Guastichel. Piénsalo.
I know.
7/25.
mí. ¿Por qué me miras a mí? Yo no
Sí,
sé.
Miss González. Sí, Miss.
Can you verify?
Yes. It is.
No, by hand.
No, I did it by my brain.
Oh.
Okay, we're moving on.
Except that question.
Oh, this is more of the same. Can we skip this one?
No. Hay que hacerlo.
What quadrant are you in?
¿Cuál es la respuesta?
Do you know how
Bro,
to draw
7 over
your triangle in
35.
the first quadrant? With a proper
Sí.
and then you just do the same thing. What do you do for tan? What do you do for tan of a double angle?
Y over X.
Sine 2x over
Which
so
you-
yeah,
which is
so it's gonna
given
be
from the
part A
previous two.
over part B, pretty much. Okay, we're gonna skip that.
Skip it.
And that one.
This is the same. I guess we'll do this one because it's a little trickier. See, because it doesn't exactly pinpoint you to one quadrant.
Huh?
Like, where's
Like-
theta at?
It is.
It
En
says
todo el
it's
círculo.
anywhere between
Zero in that's the first and
zero
the
and
second
so it could be
quadrant.
anywhere in the first or second quadrant. So that's not too clear. And this time you're given tan, which is a little different because we've been given sine and cosine so far.
And then how do you find her? Because you have.
Yes.
Wouldn't we know since tan is right now is positive?
¿Qué?
It's positive in the first quadrant, but negative in the second.
Exactly. So
Yeah. Oh, good one. Good.
Smart. Smart.
Dang. You saw that?
No.
Damn!
I'm so
Okay,
good.
so the tan that they're giving us there is positive, then it's in the first
So it's in the
quadrant.
first because also
Oh
the
my
second.
god, dude.
I'm going to math next
No
show.
way.
Thank you. I was like, okay, let's try it. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen here. Very good, Diego. Right. So we know it's in the first or second quadrant, but because tan is positive
It's in the
in the
first
Ah,
first
porque
quadrant,
es sin
it's
sobre.
negative in the second quadrant. It's
So
gotta
bad.
be in quadrant one.
Chucha.
So you draw your little triangle in quadrant one.
Yeah,
Where do you
3, 4,
put the
5.
three
3,
and the
4,
four?
5.
yeah, it's a 3, 4, 5.
It's the opposite adjacent.
Opposite,
3, 4,
adjacent,
5.
5. And they're all positive because it's to the right and up, so everything's positive. And then you could proceed as we've done before. Is that good enough? Or
Yeah.
You...
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Espérate.
Ya va.
¿Qué estás haciendo?
Oh, you want to do it? We
Yes,
can-
yes, let's do it.
Ajá, ¿de dónde salió mágicamente el 5?
Yeah, es el
Eh,
clásica
grupo.
triángulo 3, 4, 5.
Pero porque es, why is this one the classic and the other one wasn't?
Because
Because-
the 5 was
Was-
not the hypotenuse, it was one of the sides.
Entonces,
Ok, ya me
mira,
hice flojera.
Ah, so if there's
The
two
longest
sides.
side has to be the 5.
exacto, mira, sacará 4 el hypotenuse, tú no puedes poner un 5 abajo.
Do you want to pause and try this
No.
for like 3 minutes, 3-4 minutes?
No.
You want to move on?
Ahora voy a fallar este test.
No, tranquilo, todo va a estar bien.
Yo es que sí, está
Ese todo ya está
Ya va,
demasiado
Miss González,
falso.
is the test for like in 2 weeks all trick or this part?
Chapter 13 will be our last. Everything is outlined.
Miss González,
Everything is outlined perfectly right here. What we're gonna be doing when your test is, what is gonna be on the test?
Es la próxima semana el
It's
test.
gonna be exactly May 17th.
Like
Why?
in 2 weeks.
Your chapter 13 last test of the year.
The day before I have a bio
And then Max.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
No.
I'm sorry.
Es mejor, así la
No,
mente
you
está
blah, blah, blah.
fresca.
I'm sorry.
And the day before, I have a bio test and a
We're
psychology
also
paper.
missing a lot of classes.
I'm so stressed out.
That
And
way
then
we have
Pamoya,
IELTS, bio
guys.
test, math test, and paper 1 psychology.
And a history test. And a history
Wait,
test.
wait, when?
I know,
yes.
paper 1 is the day before math.
Oh yes, and it's in the TOK presentations, guys.
No, it's a IOC.
Oh,
IOC.
amazing. No, amazing, like it's sarcasm. Yes.
Guys, you know how I do it. I give you the problem set like a week and a half in advance. You take your time doing it, and by the time and I'm actually gonna give you the class before
period.
the summative, like the whole class period to do the review set. Like usual.
Daniela is texting.
We have the math oral.
You don't know whether to cry
Oh,
or
it is.
actually
And
study.
it's
Okay, perfect. So we have our after school study sessions to review this chapter. You'll be fine. No.
Are you
Smile
sure
for
about that?
Danny.
After May, I think I'm gonna cry for a whole
Okay, guys, moving on. Yeah. Okay,
We're in the-
these are a little different because you're not just gonna like use the double angle formula right here. Why not? Well,
Salute.
actually, yes, you do.
sad face.
Me van a acutar en estos exámenes.
How do you solve this?
Yes.
Square root of 2x.
No.
Imagine I didn't say that.
Pero
You move the x, you divide the x, you divide for x.
All the x's to one side and you equal to 0, no?
How do you move the x?
porque el 2.
You divide for x.
You divide both sides by x, and you get.
No, that you're eliminating answers doing that.
No.
No.
You're eliminating answers.
No.
No,
That's
because the
not.
exponent.
No, you're not.
No, but exponent is
What type of equation is
That's
that?
quadratic, but with a no.
What is that called when the degree is
Quadratic.
2? Quadratic. And how many answers should you expect in a quadratic? 2. And we only got.
Ayala.
There's
Está
something wrong.
No,
asesinando kiddies.
you have to
There's so many.
subtract x squared by 2x and then you're able to
That's just my life.
It's
I've been so wrong.
Let's try another method. How about we move everything to one side, make it equal to 0, and factor? Yes? You make each factor equal to 0, and you get 2 answers. Here's the moral of the story. Every time you divide both sides by a variable, and they cancel out on both sides, you are eliminating an answer.
And they cancel.
And it's
both.
usually x equals 0 is the one that it usually eliminates. But anyways, don't do this. Always like move everything to one side and set it equal to 0 to make sure you don't eliminate answers. Anyways.
Tan gente.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what you're doing.
Alright guys. So look at this trig equation. You have one sign with a 2x and you have the other sign with an x. You can't work. That's like having two unlike terms. That's like having a
1 is equal to 2.
like you can only combine like terms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like
That's like having an x squared and that's like having an x. Like you can't combine them, right?
No.
So you move
And I'm certainly not gonna divide both sides by
No.
x.
sign.
Or by sign, right? Okay. So what can I do right here?
Factor.
No,
Up with the equation for
replace it with the double angle formula equation, which is 2 sine x cosine x.
51 times 2.
Agree? What are you gonna do now
Solve for.
if you say divide both sides by sine x?
No, you restart. You restart.
You
para-
do not divide both sides by sine x at this point. What should you do?
Equal to 0.
Yes.
No.
Move everything to one side, equal it to 0.
Oh.
Es simplemente sin x over.
Then
You restas.
factor.
Ah, porque está multiplicando. Entonces.
Good?
Yeah.
And then make
Make
Them
it
equal to
factor
0.
factor equals 0. Ta-da!
Okay.
You are not done.
Huh?
You are not done.
Espera,
You have to
why?
solve for x.
Why do you like when you factor the sign? Why the like? Isn't it 2 sign?
No, because you back.
I left the 2 inside with the cosine.
I get it.
Okay. Again, we didn't quite talk about this, but that's your domain, right? So you're going 0 to 360, so that's one whole round in the positive direction. Fine. So in the one whole round between 0 and 360, how many times where is sine 0? Where is the y values 0?
First and the
Here
second.
and does it include 360?
Yes.
Yes.
So 0,
3.
180, and factor 360. So this solution right here has 3 answers.
Oh no.
Mamma mia.
This answer right here, this equation right here has 3 answers in itself. X equals, tell me again, 0,
180 and 360.
360. That's, see, that because the domain is in degrees. Let's come over here to the cosine being a half. In how many quadrants is cosine positive? Where's the x positive? First and fourth. So, or you could use all students take calculus, right? Cosine is positive here and here, if you want to do it that way. Anyways, where's cosine a half? 60 and 300. So this half has two answers, 60 and 300, for a total of 5 answers.
Holy moly, this.
If you had divided both sides by sign from the beginning, you would have eliminated this side. So you would have only ended up with 2 out of the 5 answers. Okay, let's try another one.
No. Tenía que copiar.
¿Dónde está?
Déjame copiar.
Pero ya va, no. Deja que termine. O sea, bebiendo desde ahí.
I'm gonna do it
No, y
this
las profesoras no llamaban. No, sonriéndose y todo.
Oh my god. No voy a hablar.
Hey, ¿qué haces?
Ready?
Yes, mother.
Okay. So guys, look at this next problem. It's also a little bit different. It says prove that the left side is equal to the right side. So you're not actually solving for x. Let me say that again. You're not solving for x. You're proving that the left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side. You're not solving for x. So what I recommend you do is you draw like the Great Wall right there, which you are not going to cross over. So you're not like moving stuff from one side to the other. You're not doing anything. You're not going to touch this side at all. You're not going to pass anything from here to there or there to there. So draw like a wall. A great wall.
The wall.
Let's okay. The second question is, well, do we work with the left-hand side or do we work with the right-hand side? It is human nature. Listen to me. It is human nature to take something complicated and try to make it simple. It is against human nature to take something simple and try to expand it and make it more complicated. So, using our human nature, which side should we work with that looks more complicated that we can try to simplify? The left side, yeah. So you usually work with the more complicated side because our intuition wants to condense it. So, what can we substitute for here?
The
I mean,
Okay,
you
fine.
have the cos x, but
Okay, what do you want to substitute for cosine of 2x? You have 3 options, my friends. You have 3 options.
So, what,
And you know
the third one,
We don't know.
Well, I guess
we don't know.
I mean, I don't know either, but like a good hint would be to look at what your end goal is, like that's your end goal. And tan has sine and cosine, right?
So cosine squared minus sine squared.
Okay. Cosine squared minus sine squared. Alright, let's do it. Yeah, but I don't think I want to do that.
Bro, peladitos.
What else can we do?
We can tan
squared we can write as
sine over
over cosine squared, and that way everything's with sine squares and cosine squares, at least on this side. Okay, so let's write tan squared as sine squared over cosine squared. Okay, and now I would say distribute carefully, and let's see what happens. So we're gonna distribute.
what?
Dallas.
Yeah.
Like, couldn't we express the 1 as in cos squared over x over cos x?
We probably could, but let's just see what happens. I'm just going with it. So, multiply here, the cosine squares cancel. And here, sine squared. 4. Okay, that's what I get. Do you get the same thing?
What does
These two cancel. That's
Uh-huh.
good. That's a good sign. Let me just write what we have left. Okay.
We need common denominator, right? No, let's do common denominator.
equal to 0?
Mm-mm.
Common denominator.
Yeah, and then you can.
Okay, let's see what happens. Not sure.
So that you can show the fraction.
Yeah, common denominator. Multiply top and bottom by cosine squared. It's gonna be cosine 4 minus sine to the 4th. Oh, okay, this might work.
Yes, because now you can cancel, like, you can
No, you
two,
can't. No, you
two.
can't, because there no puedes, porque
Can you cancel el square root de abajo con el...
Yeah, could it,
no puedes cancelar porque si no, like, no puedes. Like,
Ah, no,
No
porque
puede
está
ser
restando, está restando.
This is a difference of squares though.
Pero ya me...
Sí,
We're
más o
going in
menos.
circles. I'm not sure what's happening. Sorry.
I think we're going in circles. We're going back to.
Let me just. I'm not gonna talk. I'm just gonna try something. Difference of squares. That's what I'm doing. Okay.
Pero eso hace
No.
totalmente
That's a
sentido.
1.
Ah, yeah.
And that's
That's a two. That's
that's
a.
the sine squared x.
No, you go back to cos 2x.
I know that's a
Double angle. Yeah, you go back to it.
Oh. But okay, I can divide each one. Oh, and
Uh-huh.
I'm done, right? Because that's. Wait, what was it? Oh, I
No.
need it to be a 1.
Yeah, because sine over cosine is tan. Like cosine and cosine, it's just 1. And then negative sine. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no. Wait. No, sorry, guys. This is over 1. Sorry. So I'm done. Okay, it worked. Sorry. Okay, let's back it up to here. Sorry, I needed to make sure this was working. I wasn't leading you astray. Okay, so we're there. Are we there?
Wait.
We got a common denominator. That is a difference of squares. So like, when you have like a squared minus b squared, how do you factor that?
A plus b and
Plus
a
b,
negative.
a minus b. That's what I mean by difference of squares. So you could factor that as cosine squared x plus sine squared x. Cosine squared x minus.
Ya no me queda lugar en el papel.
A mí tampoco.
Okay, the denominator is cosine squared. But look, I'm gonna write this one like over 1 and this one over cosine squared. They're still being multiplied. They're still being multiplied. So like what you end up with the bottom is still cosine squared. Who is this? You should recognize that.
1.
That's the Pythagorean identity. That's equal to 1. So all of this is just a big fat 1. All of this. It's just. It's just like trying to.
Splitting,
separate
but
them.
because if you put a cosine and you multiply them all
It's gonna
together
be
again,
four.
it will be a cos
4.
4 to the 4.
I'm just trying to separate these two.
Tiene que darte lo mismo.
So this is just all 1. Who's being divided by cosine squared here?
All of it.
Both this term and this term. So
You can split it.
you could split it like this.
But that's being multiplied by the 1. Not restado.
Yes, this is all being multiplied by 1. Do you understand? Both of these are being divided by cosine squared. And so who's cosine squared over cosine squared?
1.
Is 1. I don't need to write that 1 that I'm multiplying by anymore. Bye. This is just 1. And then who's sine squared over cosine squared?
Tan.
Tan squared. And I'm done. Look at your right hand side.
¿Qué?
I'm sure there's a easier way to do this. Like these proof type questions. There's so many ways to like prove it. I'm sure there was a easier way, but I don't know.
We just did it.
I just kind of went with whatever you guys told me.
Do you go down one?
I'm having a marvelous time.
You know how I said like sometimes if you choose the like another double angle formula for cosine, like it works out faster. It maybe our bad was from the beginning. Could have worked out faster probably. Okay, moving on.
No.
Let's see what else.
That's the last one.
Okay, so this is just more of the same. Hey, can you pick 2? Pick 2.
A and D.
No.
What about C and D?
No. C and B.
C and D.
C and B. B.
No, can we do B and D? Can we
C
do B
and
D?
C.
B and D. B and D.
B, C, D.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D.
B is
No, Magdalena, mira eso. Entonces, ¿qué vaya a
Eso
decir?
es un quadratic. Eso
Yes,
no.
yes,
B
yes.
and D.
Okay, but
Bueno,
B and D.
Sí.
Alright, let's do these
Pero
two
no hagan
together.
esto ahorita,
¿verdad?
solo mañana.
But C is super chill. I don't know.
B and C. Yeah.
It's just
Okay. Okay, how should you start B?
replacing.
Replacing
So
this.
double angle formula of sine is 2 sine x cosine x. And the decision. Yeah.
why don't you just leave it?
Why do you say cosine x?
Porque así se dice.
Like you do cos.
Porque no tenemos un ángulo.
That's like saying sin. I don't say sin.
O sea,
I
en
say
español no
sine.
se dice
I know,
cosa.
I know.
En español se diría coseno, ¿no?
exacto.
Okay, guys, decisions. Which double angle formula for cosine do you want?
The one that has both, because we have sine and cosine. Sine and cosine.
1 minus 2 sine.
Cosine squared minus
I wouldn't use that
sine
one.
squared.
No?
I'd use one of those two.
1 minus sine.
With either only sine or only cosine.
Okay, the one of only sine.
Okay, so 2 cosine squared
Yeah.
minus 1. What should you do now? Are you gonna divide both sides by cosine x?
No.
No, you move everything to one side and
You
and
equal it
factor
to
the
0.
You make it
cosine.
equal to 0.
Where, Oscar?
Factor the cosine.
No, because
You have a minus 1. How can you do
So
that?
why didn't we just leave it as cosine?
Pero can you leave the one on this side? Bring the cosine to the other side.
But you can factor with a minus 1, right?
Make it equal to 1.
Have mercy upon
It's
nobody.
like with less terms.
¿Qué? No puedes hacer.
Oh wait, I have a. Yeah. Bye. Scratch that.
Bye.
Scratch that. So much easier. Check it. Ready? So that kind of took us to a dead end. Like you had a cosine and a sine. You only have one equation. You have 2 trig functions. Can't do anything. Look. What else can you do? Look. Just look at it. Just stare at it.
You could leave it like that.
You
What do you mean
You
by
make
pass?
that equal to 0?
Yeah. No?
No?
Huh? Okay.
Haces,
What?
cancela los dos X.
No, I actually
Less
don't
of
have to
power.
substitute with any double angle formulas.
Pero since they're both
Identity.
double angles, like you can divide the angles by 2. So,
Ah.
I was going somewhere.
It's telling you they're equal.
Oh, so there are 2 double angles. So
Pythagorean identity.
I will repeat
No,
it.
it's tan.
Ah.
Yeah, you divided
Look,
it.
I was gonna say that, but
Divide both sides. You know how I said not to do that?
Yeah.
but I'm gonna do it here. Why?
Wow.
Why? Why can I do it here? I'm not canceling. I'm not canceling it on both sides. I'm just gonna rewrite this as
A whole.
tan of 2x equals 1. So I didn't eliminate it from both sides. It's still present in the tan. The other example I showed you eliminated the x's on both sides. That's the difference. So I'm gonna write it as tan of 2x equals 1. Is everybody with me? Oh my gosh, this is so much easier.
Yeah, but like, what I don't understand is how come you like get to divide it, because it's not multiplying by anything on the other side.
But you put a common denominator.
It's like saying that like it's like you have, I don't know, it's confusing to me because like if you have 1 is equal to I don't know, like you just
It's like saying I divide both sides by 5.
But x is multiplying to 5.
Yeah.
Cosine of 2x is not multiplying to anything.
Okay. Fine. Can I still do this? Can I still say 1/2 x equals 1?
Yes.
I normally wouldn't do that, but can I divide the 10 by itself on both? Like, can I divide both sides by 10? Yeah. I could, and then eventually it'll still get me to 2. I could do that.
Yeah, I just thought you were supposed to do like the opposite operation, so that's like why it confused me. Because like if you're multiplying, usually you divide.
Pobre Daniela,
But we're
bro.
not solving for x.
Good luck.
Like right now, we're not
Passing
really
the
solving for
Ivy.
x. We're just trying to have like one trig identity that we can solve. Okay,
Sí,
so
o sea.
guys, okay, listen.
I'm always listening to you, even if I
What are you gonna do now?
What a
Thank
genius.
you, Oscar. What are you gonna do now?
You're gonna.
I know.
Where's tan 1?
That's
Ahí.
it.
Look.
In 100
Yeah,
days.
it's in the unit 0.
Where's tan positive 1?
En el
In
primero.
the first and second quadrant.
First.
No es
At
en el
45,
primero.
that's it, because in the second quadrant, it would be a negative 1. Negative and positive make negative.
Yeah.
So, but
This is like with logs. Like once you're stuck, you change it to degrees or like to something.
What was that?
Bro, se
does
me olvidó
x
que eran
equal
logs.
45?
No. Only
Yes,
tan.
x.
No.
X equals 45.
No.
¿Por qué?
No.
45 divided by 2.
Tan 2x equals 45.
45 divided by 2.
Like-
2x, the angle,
Mhm.
equals 45.
Okay, so different.
So what's x?
Half.
Divided 45 divided by 2. 22.5.
Oh my
What
god.
did you do?
You were talking. I don't know. You tell me.
O sea, like that, we figured out that the angle must be 45, but that's not x.
'Cause that's
Where
what-
tan is 1.
So, you do,
Ah,
like
but solo
divide
le
x
diste
by
el-
45 by 2.
Because tan is 1 at 45.
Square root of 2 divided by 2.
Es como logs. Ahorita lo tiene de una
ok,
forma
ok.
distinta.
Tan is always 1 at 45.
This
Whether it's
is
positive
like
or negative
logs.
depends on the quadrant, but they're always 45 because.
Sí, lo tienes en
The
esa
X
forma
and Y
de you
are the same.
transport it to the other. Claro que sí.
Guys, I have more bad news. I'm sorry. There's more
There's more what?
answers.
And we have
More answers.
Why?
Bro.
No, mi González.
when you thought you were done.
Miss González, I was like in the
Magdalena,
exam,
menos mal que lo hicimos.
We have 1 minute,
Sí,
please.
in the exam, if it doesn't specify
Ah, no,
how
está-
much
está-
answers
Look.
does it need, we still have to give them.
Your answers can go as far as 180.
So we have
We've
one
only
more.
gone to 22.5. Look, this number, that coefficient in front of the x, when it's not just a simple x, it gives you the clue of how many times to go around the circle. So that's telling you to go around the circle twice.
No.
Okay, 45 is one answer, right? We know
135.
here tan is negative.
So it cannot be.
It can be that.
Quadrant 3 would be
Quadrant 3 is positive, that's 225, right?
But it's
Okay.
under
It goes
180.
into
But
180.
wait, because
You go in
it's
the
2x that's equal
To
to
225.
225. So x equals, what is that? 112? 112.9?
12.5.
112.9? That's still under 180.
Oh my god.
Pero, why, ¿qué?
Porque mira, está buscando
Oh,
donde la
no.
45
Ok, vamos a
centavos
raspar.
sería
Now-
positivo.
now let's
All
try it
students
again and see
take
what happens.
calculus. El
If we
45 de ahí es el
go
20%.
around
Entonces,
again,
por eso hicieron eso
that
ahí,
would be
porque
45
el tan es
360.
positivo ahí.
And half of that is going to be
Porque
half
negativo y
180.
negativo es positivo.
So we stop.
I agree.
Miss Gonzalez, how do we
I don't
know
like this.
how many answers we need?
Yeah.
You just go trying.
So we can.
Like if in the exam it doesn't
It's
specify
trial
results,
and
like
error.
you
You
put
get
all
one
of
that
it.
it's over 180. Basically, tienes que hacer un gráfico.
You keep going until you get one that's over your domain.
So it's not. No.
Shall we do this? Yes. Let's do this.
No tenemos tiempo.
Yes, we do. We can do anything.
Good.
Square this. Remember the middle child. Remember the middle child. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared, right? A squared
Yeah, sure.
plus 2ab plus b squared. Who do you see? Who do you see? Who do you see? Look, 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 look.
Ah, no veo nada, solo veo puros físicos.
Ya va, ya va.
No, it's not
Done.
identity.
The identity.
This plus this.
It's one.
Because
Yeah.
it's tan.
So that's really 1 plus. And who do you see here? Sine of 2x. So keep going. Look.
Don't do it. Wait.
So when sine is negative one.
Where is sine negative 1? Oh
In
my
that
gosh.
second quadrant. I
We're
know
being
that's
watched.
such
We're being watched.
Ahí
Yes,
mismo.
we are being watched.
Where's
Wait,
sine?
don't do it.
Allá. En
No tienes que
270,
gritar, no tienes
270.
que gritar, me alteras.
Oh,
Just
this is
270. Now, we should try 270 and go around another round. 270 plus 360 is what?
600, no, 500
Ya va.
something.
No, 630.
That's the same.
Plus 360.
That's
Ya va, what? Pero why don't you go to with
600.
630.
But why didn't you do with two?
No, but that. And
Okay, I know.
Ah, two,
Divide
okay.
Over 180.
Divide by 2.
No.
270 divided by 2.
Wait. It's
135.
Is that under 180? Because that's what
Yeah.
we're
Yes.
The other one is not. This will go over
That's 350.
315. So you know you only have one answer. That's how you know.
Wait.
But at least I checked it.
But why is that when 2x plus cos squared 1?
Sine squared plus cosine squared equals 1. That's the Pythagorean identity.
Say bye to Danny.
And that's the
Daniela,
Bye, Danny.
good luck.
Sorry.
Yo le deseo toda